Live with breaking news, this is News 13 at 6:30.
We begin with breaking news tonight, and it's a pretty odd story coming out of Florence County. Deputies say a man held 10 kids hostage after wrecking his car near a mobile home. We're going to get straight to News 13's Jamarlo Phillips. He joins us now from the home where those 10 kids were held hostage with the very latest.
Janae, the incident began shortly after 1 o'clock this afternoon. Deputies say a man wrecked his car just around the corner from where I'm standing right now. And get this, he then ran into the home right here behind me, the mobile home behind me, where 10 kids were all playing inside. Now, 46-year-old Dwayne Muldrow of Effingham is being charged with DUI, burglary in the first degree, and kidnapping. Now, deputies say he could face additional charges. Now, Muldrow forced the children into one area of the residence and would not allow them to leave. They then surrounded the residence after he would not come out. One of the children were able to escape the mobile home, and when Muldrow ran outside after that child, he was then taken into custody. Now, one neighbor who I spoke with who witnessed what happened says things turned scary very quick, but relieved that none of the children were hurt.
But once the door was open, it was like all the kids just came running out. It was a line of cop cars, so nothing was going to happen to the kids, but I guess they were so scared because they didn't know what was going on either at the same time. So all of them just ran out, and all of them were crying.
Deputies say no one was injured during the incident this afternoon. Right now, it remains under investigation, and more charges could be coming forth for Muldrow. Now, I did get a chance to go and knock on the home behind me, but the family who answered the door did not want to go on camera. Reporting live here in Florence County this afternoon, Jamarlo Phillips, News 13.
We've had some small thunderstorms pushing in from the coast here earlier today, and we have one now that's moving from Horry County into Georgetown County, just west of Murrells Inlet. Heavy rain with anything that happens here over the next couple hours, and we'll expect these scattered showers and storms to continue. We also have a shower coming in from the east into Robeson County, right about to get into Lumberton now. No lightning associated with that. But more importantly than what we have going on here tonight, which will be scattered showers and storms and muggy temperatures, we really have to take a close look at the tropics. It is starting to get busy. We have Hurricane Gaston out in the Atlantic. That's not really going to be influencing anyone. Category 2 hurricane at this point, though. We also have Tropical Depression 8 that formed earlier today, 35-mile-an-hour winds, and that will be skirting the outer banks of North Carolina later this week. And then we have Tropical Depression 9, formerly known as Invest 99L. We've been watching this one for about 10 days. It's finally organizing, but this is something that we'll really have to keep a close eye on here over the next couple of days because its track, well, it may impact the Carolinas as we head into the end of the week. We'll talk more about the uncertainty and what kind of impacts this will have for us coming up.
In about a half an hour, friends and family of a missing Aner teen will gather to mark 3 years since his disappearance. Zach Malinowski was last seen playing basketball with friends in Aner on August 25th of 2013. Horry County police think Malinowski is dead and have since arrested Javon Gibbs and Christopher Brown. Police charged them both with murder as well as kidnapping. News 13's Abby O'Brien joins us now live from Aner. And Abby, you just spoke with the family, right?
Janae, friends and family are starting to gather here to hold that vigil for Zach. He was just 19 when he went missing 3 years ago. His car was found back in September of 2013. That was near Valley Forge Road in Aner, but his body has never been found. Friends and family here say they wanted to hold this vigil so the public knows they're still actively searching for Zach. One of the men charged in Malinowski's kidnapping and murder will be in court later this week. I'll have more on that and just what his mom says about this case. That's going to be coming up tonight on News 13 at 11. For now, reporting in Aner, Abby O'Brien for News 13.
New at 6:30, a thrift shop in Lumberton was destroyed by a fire early this morning. Lumberton Fire Chief Paul Ivy says crews arrived around 3:30 this morning. They found heavy smoke coming from the roof. Ivy said it took crews nearly 6 hours to get this fire controlled. As you can see there, the roof collapsed, and that's what completely destroyed this building. The fire chief says crews are working with Lumberton police to determine the cause of the fire. Firefighters responded to a fire at a car dealership in Darlington County this morning. The Darlington Fire Department says they were called to the Audi Brown Chevrolet around 5 a.m. Firefighters say the Palmetto Rural Fire Department called for help. Crews who responded say it happened in a unit behind the business. but there was no damage to the actual dealership. The cause of this fire is under investigation. Surfside Beach Police say they need your help finding two men who stole a golf cart. Chief Rodney Kazaya says this happened Friday afternoon when someone reported a golf cart stolen from under a house on Oak Lane. This is a look at surveillance photos that show a white Ford pickup truck with a utility trailer pull up to the house. Investigators say two men put the golf cart on the trailer, then left. You're asked to call Surfside Beach Police if you have any information. Myrtle Beach Police still need your help finding a missing teen girl. Police say 16-year-old Julia Meisner is 5 foot tall, 180 pounds, and has long brown hair. Police say she has a medical condition and has only been in this area for 6 weeks. If you have any information or know where she is, you're asked to contact the Myrtle Beach Police Department. Members of the Macedonia AME Church came together for worship this morning. This after a car crashed into their building last Thursday. The hole in the wall has been boarded up, but there's still pieces of it on the ground. Members were not able to gather in the main part of the church, so they set up chairs here in a side room. Reverend Mildred Watson said she was blessed to have a place to lead the service this morning.
We thought at the beginning that we would have to worship outside today. We just thank God that we are in the cool and we can continue to worship and praise God as usual.
A building fund account has been set up at NBSC in North Myrtle Beach. That's to help with the rebuilding cost. A family is remembering a husband and wife who died in a Pickens County mobile home fire Friday night. The coroner says the 70-year-old man and 83-year-old woman died of smoke inhalation. The couple's children say the two had been married 33 years and lived in the same house that entire time. They say the two died together after the husband went back into the house to get his sick wife.
My stepmother was inside, and he tried to get the hose and go in the back door to bring her out and save her, and he didn't make it back out. They were filmed at the back door.
The fire department ruled the fire accidental, but SLED is still investigating what happened. This weekend, a North Carolina family is grieving the loss of a middle schooler who died after football practice. 13-year-old Frederick Seymour struggled to catch his breath during practice and was rushed to the hospital after. He later died of complications from asthma. School administrators say students took the news of his passing very hard. Their prayers are with the family of the student. The latest research is helping pinpoint when and why younger football players get head injuries. It turns out kids are more likely to get hurt during practice than an actual game. Diane Lee asked local football experts what's being done to protect our kids and whether more changes are needed.
When Chris Miller first started playing football decades ago, a drill that some call bull in the ring was standard. A player in the center tackled repeatedly by teammates one at a time.
And sometimes you never did make it to turn around and that guy hit you in the back. You know, those are different things, just some old tough stuff that we used to do. Seems like, you know, it's crazy now.
Not surprisingly, a new study out of Virginia Tech found that drill to be among the most likely to cause a concussion. It also found young players were more likely to be injured in practice than at a game. Vernon Smith with the Marcus Lattimore Foundation says one problem is many youth coaches are still teaching old school methods.
I think that is one big change that we can make is trying to provide athletic trainers in these youth leagues to help kind of curb some of the injuries and concussions.
In light of these studies, are departments really having to make some serious changes as far as safety?
Well, I think we need to make the changes in how we teach the tackling, obviously. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves.
In fact, Spartanburg High just implemented safer USA football training methods. The heads-up approach focuses on shoulder impact instead of the head.
Years ago, there were a lot more live-action drills during practice. That's where players were taken to the ground. Nowadays, the state of South Carolina limits that to 90 minutes per week.
As a coach now, Miller hopes the ongoing changes will reverse a trend of lower enrollment.
This game of football has done so much for me in my life, and I want it to continue, and I want it to be safe for our kids.
In Spartanburg, Diane Lee.
Still to come tonight after the break, police have now released video of an officer pepper spraying an 84-year-old woman. Find out what led officers to spray her when we return.